Welcome back, everybody. So for this exciting panel on the content needs for MENA, I have the pleasure of welcoming back with us Heba Korayan from our moderator, who will be discussing with key players in the region. So Heba, over to you.
Thank you, Shana. Thank you. I'm very excited to be back today for the third session with, and the most, in my opinion, one of the most exciting, because we have all the major players, almost all the major players in the OTT world, pay TV, free to air, representing different parts of the media industry with us today. We will be joined by Ali from NBC shortly, but while we're waiting, I'd like to go around the room and we'll start with Rola, followed by Kinda, and of course Nadine and Kamel, and when Ali joins as well. Just a brief introduction of 1 minute about yourself, about your platform, and then we'll continue with the questions. But before we go into that, we will be receiving questions from the audience as we go along, and we'll see where they fit in the discussion. So please, if you have any questions, I know there's so many people joining us, keep your questions coming. I will try to ask them as they come along. Over to you, Rola.
Hi, everyone. Good day or good morning. I have no idea since we have different time zones. My name is Rula Karam. I work at OSN for the past 4.5 years. I had the acquisition department for both our traditional pay TV and our OSN streaming. As you all know, OSN is a premium TV, pay TV platform that has been in the Middle East for over 25 years. And in a brief, we provide content, Western and premium Arabic content to both. We cater both worlds, the digital SVOD platform as well as the traditional viewers. And I handle the acquisition department, as I said, and by all means, I'm looking forward to this session and to my counterparts, and it will be an exciting one. If you have any questions, we'll take it after this.
Thank you so much, Rola, representing OSN, one of the biggest pay TV networks in the Middle East and North Africa. Over to you, Kinda, from Twitter.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So great to be back here, still in virtual. My name is Kinda Ibrahim. I look after content partnerships for Twitter in the Middle East, Africa, and Turkey region. And basically what that means is that we work with content partners, be it broadcasters, FTA or OTT players, digital publishers, content creators, to help them maximize the use of the platform. In more details, that means basically growing the reach on the platform, getting access to incremental audience, but also give them an opportunity to monetize and basically add additional revenue streams via our partnerships with them through rev share or new monetization models that include subscription, that hopefully we'll get to talk about later today. And very happy to be here, very happy to answer any questions that will be left towards the end. And back to you, Hiba.
Thank you so much, Kinda. Additional revenue streams, I would love to talk about that. Thank you for your input, Kinda. Over to you, Nadine from Wayak, the region's biggest supplier of Indian and Bollywood and Arabic entertainment. Please go ahead, Nadine.
Thank you. So I look after Wayak platform. Wayak is a video on demand platform where we are available globally in every other country in the world. Our main focus is definitely the MENA region for now. Wayak is a video on demand platform by Z Network. So that being said, we have a lot of exclusive Indian content that's dubbed into Arabic as part of our platform. So Wayak is a platform targeting Arabic audience wherever they are. So we get all the different types of content, whether it is from India, which is our biggest USP, or Arabic content, Arabic premium content, or content that we produce, originals and other shows as well. And then we put them in the platform and make it available for the Arabic audience to watch. We are an AVOD, SVOD platform as well. So we have a subscription layer, which has a premium type of content that's original and exclusive on the platform that's available on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Nadine. Over to you, Kamel from Spacetoon, the biggest and the oldest TV network for children in the Middle East and North
Thank you
Africa.
so much, Hiba. Yep. So my name is Kelman Weiss. I'm working at Spacetoon and handling the digital transformation for the group. I'm managing now Spacetoon Go, which is the VOD platform for Spacetoon. I mean, we're trying to spread joy and bringing all the childhood memories to the audience all around the Middle East. So yeah, we've been now targeting working more in terms of like how we could digitize Spacetoon TV itself and bringing all the audience that we have in the free to air up to the Spacetoon Go, where we have SVOD and AVOD model. So we're trying to do the hybrid model. And besides, we have the freemium itself, where it's content for free without even advertising. So we're trying to attract different kind of audiences and see which one that works for us as well. Yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you, Kamel. Definitely, I hear a lot going into digital, and I think that's a big part of what we're going through now as an industry. Ali, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry for the hiccup that you went through. Ali is representing Shahid, the region's biggest platform for Arabic entertainment and also expanding into the world. Ali, please take a minute to explain to us more about your platform and a little bit about yourself as well.
Hello, Hiba, and thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Gamloush. I'm heading the originals of Shahid, and by originals we mean the series, unscripted shows, and the movies. Shahid is the OTT platform, or the VOD platform for NBC Group, in both AVOD and SVOD tiers. We operate in all the markets in the Arab world, from GCC to Egypt to Levant to North Africa, and now we're expanding internationally now in terms of distribution and storytelling. I'm so happy to be with you in this platform, and looking forward for this interesting discussion.
We're happy to have you also. Thank you, Ali. Definitely lots of questions to be asked for you and for the panelists as well. We will start with content strategy questions, and then we'll talk a little bit about production and also about the different aspects of social media and how content fits in there. In terms of content strategy, there is one question that keeps getting asked over and over particularly the content creators and the production houses that are trying to pitch as their ideas as originals to the platforms. We'll start with Rola. Rola, is there a specific strategy and how can these content creators reach you? Is there a specific? Can you talk to us about your strategy, what you're looking for, and more information about how they can reach you?
Yeah, sure. So currently, actually, we're working on our 2022 content strategy for the next few years when it comes to original production. But I'd like to highlight the fact that as OSN, as a premium pay and our OSN streaming app, we still cater, we bring the best of the West, and we have the best of Arabic entertainment and Turkish and other non-Western or non-English content that we dub. So we're trying to cater to the needs of our audience, whereby there's still a huge appetite when it comes to premium Western content, and this is, I think, our USP when it comes to all the content that we bring from the US, from the major studios, and we bring it same time and same minute as the US. So you see whatever the US is watching, you can actually watch it on OSN streaming and OSN pay TV at the same time. When it comes to Arabic production, we are working currently on it. What we're looking for is premium content, premium produced content that is not that is definitely relevant to the region, to our core market, obviously the JCC and Egypt. But we were looking for something niche and a platform that we're being because we're a pay TV platform, so we can actually push the envelope a little more than other free-to-air or SVOD, FVOD platforms. So I'm looking for premium content and new talents, obviously, and content that is, so what I mean, like, because I have content similar to HBO, so I need to complement it with Arabic content that is similar to the production quality of the studios. So this is the kind of content we're looking for. This is an example.
Is there a
We
specific,
are, I'm sorry?
Sorry, is there a specific way to pitch to your platform, Rula?
Yes, definitely. We're receiving so many pitches now because we're locking some for next year. So they can, by all means, they can reach out to me by email, and I can introduce them to the head of Arabic department and the originals, and we'll review the pitches together, and we share the ideas. We can give them more insights of what we're looking for. And accordingly, we lock a project or not, depends on our criteria. We do have a set of criteria because we need to keep our platform premium as premium as possible.
Okay.
But yeah, they can reach out to us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rilla. Nadine, I see you smiling there. I know your content strategy is a little bit different than OSN's. And I know you have a lot of exciting projects that have been brewing. And I'm not sure how much of that you can reveal today, but I'd love to hear from you what your content strategy is and if there's any exciting announcements that you'd like to make today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll take you a little back into how we put content on Wayak, on which criteria, and then I'll take it from here into the Arabic. So our biggest chunk of content on Wayak is our Indian productions, right? Because we are part of Z Entertainment, and accordingly, we have a treasure of Indian content that's loved by the Arabic audiences in general, and specifically in GCC, in Egypt, in Iraq as well. So we get a lot of content from Z library, which consists around 50% of our content, and that's normally exclusive to Wayak. We also go and look for special content that some of our TV channels in India, they produce as part of Z and air. And if it was a successful story, we think that the story is interesting, we dub it and we bring it into Wayak, and it becomes also exclusive only to Wayak. So this content, you don't see it even on Arabic ZTVs or other ZTVs in the MENA region. Another angle of element when it comes to content is we produce Indian content specifically for digital. So this content is original content to Z5 and Wayak. The Arabic version goes into Wayak in terms of dubbed content. And this is where most of this content goes into our premium package because this content is very, very unique, very high standard in quality, in the shooting, in the storyline, very up to date. And that's why it is special content that we keep it into the premium package. Now, moving on into the Arabic content, we acquire from the market, whether it is from Egypt, Syria, and Pan-Arab and the Gulf area. We have a big part of our content strategy focusing on that. And then the third angle is the productions, the Wayak productions, which is we focus on the Arabic original productions. And we started this angle last year by producing around four content, 3 shows and 1 drama series. This year, this is scaling up, and we are investing more on the production side, which is going to also continue to the next year as well. In terms of a few, probably announcements of what we're doing, as you have pointed on that, we have produced a song with a famous Egyptian singer, Shakush, and we are releasing it within the coming few days. So this is one of the biggest things that we are working on right now, because it has multiple elements from content perspective, social media, and awareness kind of initiative. And we have another 2 projects of productions that we started already shooting. One in Egypt, we're shooting a series right now there. And another Syrian content that we are working on it. And we're going to be rolling the camera also very soon in a few weeks, basically. So these are the upcoming projects that are very soon that we're going to be seeing them materializing. And then we have other plans going forward as well for our Q4, which is Q1 next year, and then the rest of the year as well.
Well, that sounds very exciting, Nadine. You mentioned something, about the song coming out with Hassan Shakush. And how you're going to use social media for both for content and for also marketing the platform. And I think that sits very well in with what Kinda mentioned previously about monetization and helping various content creators monetize and also platforms further monetize their content. Kinda, I'd like to hear from you about what you said earlier about the monetization and how that ties in well with what Nadine was saying.
Sure. Before I talk about monetization, I just like to take a step back and talk about strategy. And it's in my head, it's twofold. It's basically our strategy of how we go about choosing our partners to work with, and also how we basically work with partners to help them execute on their objectives and achieve their goals and strategy. So the first fold is how do we choose, like basically, how do we choose what's our content strategy for 2022, for example? We look at basically, we rely heavily on conversation volume, on basically the trends that we see, and to uncover what users are interested in, the big genres, but also uncovering any niche genres and new genres that users are interested in, and that kind of dictates our decisions on going and finding the right partners that produce this kind of content. Because we're not in the production business, we're not in the licensing business. We are truly a complementary to basically our partners, be it TV or OTTs and publishers. So that's one fold. The other fold is, what we try to do is, when we work with our content partners, given the vast volume of data that we have, the conversational volume, and the nature of Twitter, be it the platform where people come to talk about what's happening, be it a big event or be it a big TV show, and all of that. So that kind of helps us really work with our partners to let them know how, obviously they have their own ratings and obviously they have their viewership numbers, but this additional lens of social media, additional lens of the conversation of Twitter specifically, helps them really understand how specific shows or originals are performing. We see that heavily during Ramadan with a lot of originals, and then we see people talking about these originals and they're trending every day. So that really helps us work with the partners to let them know that these shows are performing X and Y based on the conversation that's happening on the platform. Back to the second, your question, the monetization. It's very important that we continue to work with partners to help them uncover and unearth new monetization opportunities using the platform, and that has obviously evolved so much over the years. Still, the bulk of the content monetization is through basically rev share solutions that we work with our partners on. So to summarize them, they fall into a product that we call Amplify. And Amplify could be just an easy way for publishers to post on a regular basis their content and enable monetization, and they just start seeing revenue from this money, from this content, through enabling their content to be paired with pre-roll some advertisers. So that is sort of like a very generic, very easy to opt in and basically kickstart with Amplify pre-roll. The other product that is a little bit more bespoke, a little bit more targeted, is what we call Amplify sponsorship. And this one is more of a one-to-one relationship between Twitter, a brand, and a specific partner. So whereas Amplify pre-roll is just you categorize your content as entertainment or sports or gaming, for example, you just opt in for monetization. Amplify sponsorship is like a sponsorship. So, we might be working with Ali and one of the originals and find a sponsor for this particular sponsor, for this particular show. And the content sits on Twitter, but the content sits on the MB specific Shahid handle, for example, on Twitter. And the content that we monetize is short form. We're never competing in the long form genre of content. We're focusing on short form, especially when it comes to video. And so simply the publisher, the broadcaster, they publish short videos on the platform. They tag it with the right campaign, and then basically we split the revenue that we get from the advertiser. That is not the only advantage that the publisher gets, but unlike other platforms, the advantage of Amplify solutions is that it amplifies. So basically, any money and the paid media that the advertiser spends goes towards promoting the content of the publisher. So as a publisher, as a broadcaster, as a content partner, not only you get the revenue, but also you get additional distribution paid for by the brand. So that's the main element of monetization. I want to touch base a little bit on what we've been doing as well, because we've been focusing on finding solutions for creators and finding solutions for creators to start to monetize their content, not necessarily through brand advertising, but through users compensating these creators. This could be through what we call super follows. Is that as a creator, I might decide that, you know, most of my content is going to be free, but, you know, I'm going to have publish specific content, be it video, be it newsletter, be it audio spaces, and make this only exclusive to people who subscribe and pay, I don't know, $2.99 a month or $3.99 a month, etc. So that's one avenue of monetization. The other avenue that we launched recently, and soon, very soon, is going to be available in the region, is what we call tip. Is just allow users to tip directly a creator of their choice because they like their work. So these are also new solutions that we've launched recently that complement our monetization, our ref share monetization products, and hopefully
that's very comprehensive.
Yes, and hopefully we enable us to see elevated content coming out in the region from different type of creators.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing that kind of happen already. Very comprehensive, Kinda, and I think we'll come back to the last bit that you said there. Kamil, I know a lot of what Kinda said about the use of social media and boosting content and different revenue generating opportunity. I know that you've already been in that space for a few years now. Please, the floor is all yours to tell us about your journey and your strategy for the past few years, and please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So based on the social media, I mean, Spacetoon, let's say Go, which is the OTT platform that we have, most of our downloads and users have been generated, between the awareness that we have on TV and plus social media, and especially our organic social media followers, where we have, let's say, from Twitter to Facebook to YouTube and so on. We have massive social media followers, over 10 million followers so far in total across our social media. So that drove a lot of, actually, especially in our audience, they are like hardcore fans, hardcore followers. So whatever we post, they follow, they try to share, and they try to put their reviews on as well. So let's say we launch a new season of Dragon Ball. Directly, we could see organically, we could see YouTubers, tweeters, everyone, influencers talking about the latest show and the latest episode by itself. So that is driving a lot of, for us, a lot of buzz and downloads and users. We stayed using that kind of method for years till now. Recently, like a few weeks ago, we launched our first live ad called Spacetoon Nostalgic song. So we used one of our nostalgic song called Mani Arifu Kayfa Yakun, like without Spacetoon. It's a very famous nostalgic song for Spacetoon. So we incorporated that music with like how the new generation was been like viewing Spacetoon before, and now they're using the Spacetoon Go generation. So that goes with the flow, and like people started sharing it and like remembering all their childhood. So yeah, we try to play in different kind of angles for targeting or like the new generation and plus the old generation who's already watching anime. We saw in our content in general, like once we launched our VOD platform, we saw a lot of young adults and adults actually watching our platform, from the old generation who's been watching Green Geyser, Sally, and the other old nostalgic shows, till the anime that we're producing. Because for example, let's say Conan, we introduced Conan since 2000. Now we are in episode 600 something. So it's been almost 20 years people following Conan, and until now they're still watching. So that's why when they were kids, they're watching Spacetoon, and now they're also watching it through Spacetoon Go. So we had a lot of buzz in doing those. So that's, at first it was a challenge how we could give our audience, the new generation plus the old generation, the content that itself. So we tried to differentiate it's inside the app itself, like you're plus 13 or below 13, and then the whole content switches. And that attracted a lot of the we satisfied like the adult generation, let's say. We started introducing a lot as well new kind of segments. We launched recently the new mom segment, like almost 6 months ago. We put Cocomelon in it, and we're producing original shows for it, for how to cook for your kid. It's basically trying to bring the old generation who grew up watching Spacetoon, but with their kids, instead of just watching, Cocomelon on social media alone, come watch it with your kid on Spacetoon Go. And besides, this is going to be in Arabic, so we're trying to dub all songs that is very big, famous in the region, and Spacetoon known for their dubbed, quality. So that's a key in our as well and strength in Spacetoon. We're introducing a new segment as well that I could announce maybe in later sessions, but this is going to be also like targeting young adults, going to be something big as well for the region. So we're trying to adapt. We could talk more about the strategy and the subscription strategy and how to retain customers, but yeah, I will pass on the later questions maybe. Yeah.
It's very interesting, Kamil, to see that you're diversifying your niche audience, moving from typically kids to more adult population, and definitely, as kids, it is very nostalgic growing up with Spacetoon in the house. I know for a fact that this one's for you, Ali. You're pushing out originals like nobody has ever pushed out originals in the region. The most asked questions by the production houses and content creators, and I know I've asked this before to Rola, but a lot of people want to hear it from you. When these content creators want to submit pitches, they have amazing ideas. Is there a specific process that they should go through? What exactly are you looking for? I guess that falls in strategy, but also I'd like to understand more what process, or if you have a process in place for these people.
Sure. Part of our direction that we took, I think 2 years ago, in transforming what we're doing, us and MBC Group, transforming the whole approach to the market and to be a content factory, was to diversify our sourcing channels, not counting alone on the usual suppliers in the market. And for that, we wanted to be as much close as we can to the market, and to touch space on a daily basis with all the creators and the talents in the market. For this, we have several ways to pitch or to reach out to MBC or Shahid for any new idea, new concept, even talents if they want to be part of our originals or our productions. They either can go through MBC Studios, our main production arm at MBC, and studio behind our biggest originals, or through MBC Productions, our internal production department that handles the unscripted and the documentaries and shows. They either can come to us, to Shahid, or to MBC. And for the public, they can go through fikrati.mbc.net, which is open for everyone to submit his or her concept or idea. Now, after that, we have a certain process, and also this was part of the strategy to combine the expertise in the group in one place. So we created something central commissioning unit, and with this we take the concept from ideation to development to green lighting, and then to production. At the same time, we work together with the creators to enhance and refine their concepts to be ready for pitch, and throughout the way to refine and work on the scripts to be as good as it can be to go to production. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have a process in how we source content, process on how and how the content goes through stages before the green lighting. After green lighting, we were talking about this. We have this term that we always use. It's the combination between art and science. So we have other than creatives, we have content engineers, data scientists, planning experts. So, and we have a nice internal platform, let's say, to discuss and to make sure that any decision we're taking on the content is data driven, and at the same time it's creatively and data driven together. So with this, we launched last year. We started slightly last year with the originals. This year we went with up to 15 original. Next year we're going even way more than this. And we work into what we're doing is, as you said, original for us is one of the main drivers for Shahid. We also have our premieres and pre-theatrical movies. We're investing a lot in kids, in documentaries, and this all come in one direction. We are trying to position ourselves as the storytellers of the Arab world, the one who tell the Arabic story from the Arabic society to the Arabic society, using international experts to expand our story internationally. So that's mainly it. Going to the social media part, because it's so interesting. Our use for social media, we have this traditional promotional and marketing approach for platforms and social media. But at the same time, what we did is we tried to integrate these platforms as part of the storytelling and what we're doing, and to expand our storytelling to social platforms. So we make sure to put in touch our social media team with the writers and directors and the production people from the early stages, to try and to come up with the extended storytelling to social media. So we don't use the social platform as a promotional tool only. We also use it as a platforms or a space for people to know more about this, the characters, to know more about the story. And if we link this to our release pattern, to have a space to discuss the story, the plots throughout the week before the next episode released. So our approach to social media and multi-platforms is more advanced in terms of integrating them in social platforms. It worked very well in the talent shows before, and now it's even working better with the story, with the drama, because there is something people they can discuss. Mm-hmm. So that's mainly it.
Well, thank you for the comprehensive overview, Ali. From to answer people's questions, like you said, if I understand that correctly, pitching to MBC, to Shahid, happens through MBC Studios, MBC Productions, through Shahid, or to the public through fikrati.mbc.net. So that's a very clear answer to that question. And something very interesting that you said, Ali, was arts and science. I love that, because that's how you get to know what to create next or what to invest in the upcoming original. That takes a lot of science, data science. And I guess the next question, the next natural question would be, and I know that I know that Kinda will have a lot of input in that, but I'd like to hear also from Rula, to what extent, all that's data generated now that everything's going to digital, to what extent do you use that data to determine what the next investment in Arabic original is going to be, or content, or acquiring content?
We do have a full department of data scientists that they report to us on a daily basis of what's trending on OSN, what's working, what's not working, and accordingly we take this data and analyze it carefully. And that's when we do our next round of acquisition. We definitely use the data to go and get a particular piece of content. Again, as I said, acquisition of content is still very key for us, whereby we need Western content to cater to the needs of this region. And when it comes to original production as well, we take this data and analyze it carefully. We know that what works in this region, our core markets are, for instance, the JCC and Egypt, and accordingly, we start working on what content we want to produce. Again, I stress on the fact that our production will be premium, and this is the way we're taking. This is the route we're taking when it comes to original production. Similar when it comes to the acquisition of content, it has to be premium and exclusive content. So data is very much in this company, very much a big tool that we use.
Do you feel that there is any shift in audience preferences in terms of genres?
I'm talking when it comes to the Western content, we still, there's the procedural drama are still very much big drive for us. We have the limited series on our OSN streaming. This is another huge, it's another content that we really aim to get. And our world is divided into two. When it comes to, we have the movies for the DTH and the traditional TV, they're key, and we maintain the best and the exclusive movies right after theatrical. But on the OSN streaming, it's obviously the binge watching when it comes to series, and if it's Turkish or Arabic or Western. So it's we're trying to fit, as I said, we're trying to fit to both worlds and bring content that fits both our platforms. Mm-hmm. So each platform has different audience, and each platform has different preferences.
Great, wonderful. Kinda, I know that a lot of production houses rely on social media listening tools to get an idea of how their productions performed and what the general public opinion is. And I know that a lot of also, broadcasters, OTT platforms resort to social media listening tools as as a proper tool for audience measurement. Maybe you can shed light from your point of view, Twitter. What is there in that space to use?
So absolutely. So from a Twitter perspective, it's really the volume of conversation around a certain genre or around a certain show. So I'll bring back the example of Ramadan. Where one way for us basically to measure performance for our own is to look at basically hashtags, names of the shows, mentions of the shows, mentions of the actors, to kind of basically gauge the interest and the sentiment around specific shows or around specific genres. Now, a lot of our API, we work with a lot of our API partners who have access to our basically API, and they can provide partners and brands with these listening tools. The caveat obviously is with Arabic, it's a little bit more challenging than other languages because of the different dialects and because of the different ways people could write. So it's still indicative of, like, volume is obviously very, very indicative, but sentiment could be a little bit tricky because of the, specifically in Arabic language, because of the nature of the Arabic language. But certainly, there are multiple API partners who can help with that. We also work with our partners to provide them with some performance information about their own shows. But certainly, because of the way that people consume social media, and I'm going to focus on Twitter for the moment, is like it really acts as a second screen in a way that people are either basically talking about what they're watching as it's happening, so in real time, or they use it as a catch up to kind of basically find recaps of what happened on the show, but also the comments around it. So in a way, with that volume of conversation, it can be scientifically used to basically dictate and advise our partners on kind of basically what to focus on and how these shows performed, and basically also give them an indication of what the strategy would be for the next season or the next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
can I ask?
Yes,
Can
sorry.
I ask Kinda a quick question? Because she mentioned something very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Between sentiment and volume, I know there was some few initiatives in the market that they were working on the Arabic side of sentiment.
Yeah.
Are you receiving any, or how you see this? Is there any new companies, initiatives? Because volume is important, but volume can be manipulated in a lot of different way, and in a lot of time it doesn't give the right idea about how this is how the performance of a certain piece is.
As I said, there are several IPI partners. I'm not in a position to name one over the other.
No, don't name.
But we can definitely take it online, Ali, to talk about how we can optimize to basically, like, especially for your originals, to kind of basically see what's the best way to measure real sentiment. Maybe with the help of maybe working with us directly on how we can basically monitor that.
I think that's not unique to Ali. I think a lot of content creators will want to get the real sentiment of social media and how that impacts the eventually the distribution monetization of video content.
Look, the reality is, this is, like I said, this is a learning process. This is a learning process for us. This is a learning process for anybody else, because it relies heavily on machine learning. And machine learning is basically just how what you like. You start picking up on certain elements and you start basically feeding it. So I think the short answer is that I think with time, this would become a lot better. It would become a lot more accurate. I'm not saying it's not accurate today. I'm just saying that there is an element of improvement.
Get better, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We do have a question from the audience, and it's for Nadine, and I think it ties in nicely to the question that I was going to ask anyways about the multi-platform approach that a lot of OTT platforms have. But the specific question here, I'm going to read it out. Can you provide more context about the Hassan Shakush song and how this will help Wayak? This is exciting because you can make an announcement for everybody to start creating TikToks. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we started actually with a promo and the teaser in TikTok, as you mentioned, just a few days back. A part of the song we've released it there so people can participate in the challenge, and until now it is picking up nicely, and it's creating a bit of a buzz that we wanted, which is people are not really sure what is it. Is this a song? Is this like people don't know? Is it just a challenge? Just a challenge with some words from Shakush, or what's happening? So that's a nice thing that we wanted. Actually, it was planned to be created, and it's created now in preparation for the release of the song. So the reason behind such collaborations, and not only this collaboration in particular, I believe when it comes to OTTs or digital businesses in general, they should be very creative in creating content, whatever type of content that is, that would create some attention to the platform, that would create some new vibes into the platform. And specifically for this direction, the idea is more on the brand awareness type of thing. And that's why when you listen to the song, hopefully very soon, you will see that if you don't know Wayak, and I did not tell you about Wayak, that we're releasing this song, you will not relate that this song is specifically for Wayak. And this was our direction, is to create something that is a song that can be widely used with people, with the word Wayak in it continuously, but without really forcing the brand on people. It's more of, I am with you doing this and that, and I'm enjoying my time, and this is, I love you, so I'm with you. You know what I mean? So it's using the word in a way that would that we use it on a daily basis. That's the idea. So that's how we look into it. It's more of a buzz. It's more of a new type of content that we're creating that's going to be vital for our social media. It's going to be vital for our brand awareness as well, and that's particularly for this project.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. And for Kamel, I mean, you're also very, very active. I know you've animated a lot of social media influencers, and you're going to continue doing that. It's a very successful model. How do you decide which content goes on social media and which parts and which content goes into the platform, what content goes into free to air? How do you make that
Good question.
differentiation?
Yep. So, I mean, when we chose Shia Family, I mean, based on two things, which is their followers base, and their how clean and like their content fits, our brand identity in general, and plus, that they're targeting families. So these main three elements that when we saw it, we saw that it's the perfect fit for us to go and expand into animated content for them and grow their brand, not just, as a YouTube family, to become beyond just, on YouTube, to become a brand that we did the animation for them. And now we're developing a licensing and merchandising program. So where we did toys now for Mushaya, it's going to be released like after a month or two in stores. So that's bringing like for the family itself, it's bringing more, let's say, a brand and awareness and revenues for them. For us, it's bringing their followers to us and bringing more space to make it them relevant, let's say, to today's generation who's always on social media and following the content. So we've been collaborating with them very closely, and it was very successful. We greenlighted now the season 2 for Mishaya family, and now we're replicating this idea with another family, YouTube also based, that we're gonna announce soon, and it's very exciting. And how we put it between, let's say put it on YouTube or put it on Space to Go, like we see social media as a driving awareness and marketing for us too. So like we post it on YouTube, we post the episodes on YouTube, but we always remind people that you could watch, let's say, the full episodes or the new episode that didn't release on YouTube, come and watch it on Speech to Go. Let's say this is only for these kind of content that is related to social, because it's social content and it's short form with these influencers. And we saw this is actually working in the US with Ryan, who's like an unboxing toy. So it was a successful case that we tried to collaborate as well, and we're collaborating with the US studios as well to create more US-based influencers with them for the type of animated content and translate it into Arabic. So that's like it's succeeding both worlds, let's say. So bringing like let's say more new followers that we didn't have, or audiences that we didn't have before to the platform, plus engaging with the new content and original content for us. And based on original content, we're introducing many original contents that is short format. Because that's what allowed us actually on VOD, on the streaming platform, that you could use short format. TV has limited us with like long kind of format. You need to stick to 26 or 52 episodes, which is very, very expensive to the region actually, in producing animation for kids in the region. But in streaming, it makes us the freedom. Let's say we could create a show with 3 episodes or 10 episodes or 20 episodes. It depends how we see the success from the data from these episodes to greenlight, let's say, new episodes to launch. So
I think you fine-tuned that balance very well, Kamel. Thank you for that. I'm very aware of the time that we have about 3 minutes to go, and we might go just slightly over time because I'd like to hear the final words from our lovely panelists. I wish we had more time. Lots of questions that we did not cover yet, but just a quick round around the room. We'll start with Ali from Shahid. Your future plans, the final notes, what are you, if there's any plans for expansion that you would seek partnerships in? I'll leave the floor to you, Ali, to just very briefly, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Eva. And before we close this, I want to thank everyone on the panel. It was really interesting. Quickly on the future plans. We think that we're living in the golden age of the original and content creation in the region. For that, we have plans to cover all the markets in the Arab world. So we're not. There is a certain focus on certain markets, but we're trying to expand the production and the content creation across the Arab region. We have a very interesting partnerships with international studios and producers to create this type of hybrid storytelling between and to link the storytelling between the Arab world and and internationally. We will push more on the kids documentaries and premieres. And for originals, we are introducing, and we will keep introducing, the premium, high-end, international standard storytelling coming from the region.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Ali. Ali will be looking for high quality Arabic content and also children's content. Thank you, Ali. Rula, just a quick 30-minute final notes of your future expansion plans or partnerships.
Just so as everyone knows, we still have all the our continuous relationship with all the major studios. This has been we've been with all the studios for over 25 years, and this is still continuing. On the Arabic side as well, we're looking for premium. I always stress on the content, on the word premium. We're looking for premium content. Our focus on original would be premium originals. We are and we will invest more in original production, so as we can have the full IPs, and exclusive is very, very key word for us, exclusive content. There's so many untold stories that from the region that needs to be told. We're available to any production house that is willing to pitch any idea, and we'll take it further. Again, I would like to receive pitches from all over the Middle East, not just from one region, but we have pitches that we can receive from North Africa to Egypt to Levant and JCC. So yeah, we're continuing
so
the
much.
business. Thank you.
Sorry, I think
the line is cut off. Sorry.
But we have to wrap up. So just a very quick, I am aware that, I need Kinda to say a few words, and also Nadine and Kamel. So please, Kinda, just a few wrap-up words from you.
Yes, so very quickly, we're looking to tighten our partnerships with content providers, and that means, just thinking about creative ways of what we do content that is not just the typical TV content, so be it a shoulder content or be it new formats like audio spaces, and also the other thing is we're basically working closely to basically find and compensate those content creators, individuals, through the new formats that I mentioned earlier, be it ticketed spaces, be it tipping, be it super follows. So that's kind of what's going to be the other element of our strategy moving forward.
Thank you, Kinda. Please go ahead, Nadine.
Yeah, very quickly, we're very dynamic team in the way that we look into our strategies. We're very agile, quick in the decision making when it comes to content. I'm always in the round to to look for new ideas, creative ideas, young people with big plans, and we take it from there. So. Thank you so much for having me here.
Definitely, Nadine, very easy to do business with the WIAC. Kamel, please go ahead.
I have a small advice for local producers and studios that if you want to pitch animation, try to bring it on the pre-production side before going into the production, because it's going to be very costly and it might be a very long way to go to sell it, let's say. So yeah, thank you so much.
Very good advice. Thank you so much, Kamel. Thank you, everybody, for this wonderful panel, your lovely insights. Very happy to see you here. And thank you for the audience for tuning in. Sorry we can't answer all the questions. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.